Hey Soul Babes, welcome to the Essence Podcast. In this week's episode, we'll be talking about how to create the things you desire from your chakra centers. So we're going to be using the key of awareness to open up our mind and to learn how we can thrive during the hurricane seasons of our life. You know, life is a roller coaster, there's ups and downs, and to be able to navigate through that with stability, with rootedness within our own divine selves, and to be able to create more things that make us feel alive, that make us feel happy, whole, and complete.
In your divine essence you shine. In your divine essence you thrive. I'm your host, Riss, and you're listening to Essence Podcast.
So for those of you who are new to what chakras is a Sanskrit word meaning spinning energy disc. And these energy discs lie within our spine, within our spinal cord. And starting from the spine, the base of the spine, all the way to the top of your head, this is how long the spinal cord is. And each chakra holds a specific characteristic and a specific emotion. They basically have their own ways of functioning. And in each little cubicle that they own, that they reside in, they tend to govern certain feelings, certain emotions, and all together play a really large role in our lives. So we'll start from chakra number 1, which is our root chakra. It is located at the base of our spine, so the tailbone part. And in Sanskrit, the word root is Muladhara. This Muladhara energy, this point of our root, is the first root because, of course, given the name root chakra, this is an energy that governs the way you are rooted in this earthly body. And as a child, this root chakra was heavily being activated and used as we grew up, because it was like the survival 101. We learned how to navigate life and how to be able to understand how to move as a human being. So in this root chakra, it is such an earthy chakra that we are learning so much from this. It is even like where it derives from even our ancestral lineage. Like all of it is governed in this energy center. In each chakra center is represented by a specific color. So for the root chakra, it is represented by the color red. And red is such an earthy color, so you could just already imagine just how vibrant your root chakra can get. And your root chakra is also this place where you become grounded. It's your stability, it's your security. It represents this I am station within you. Then we go to the second chakra center, and the second chakra center is called your sacral chakra, and it is located in the center of your pubic bone where your sexual organs are. And in this area right here, the second center, is very connected to our root chakra. Like our root chakra and our sacral are so intertwined together. Like if our root chakra becomes imbalanced or affected, then our sacral, of course, is just right hand in hand. It's like they work together. And in our sacral, this is a place where we hold so much energy. Just imagine how much energy it takes to make a baby, to digest your food, to, take a poop. Like all these things require force and energy. And it is seen as that. It is seen as this reservoir of life force. And in Sanskrit, the word means prana, prana meaning life force. And this area holds just so much of that energy. The word for sacral in Sanskrit is savarhishtana. And it is represented by the color orange. And the second center is seen as this place of where it sparks up ideas, it sparks up creative energy, it sparks up this place of like, okay, I have an idea, I'm going to go and do it, And so then it comes this idea, this spark plug connects just right into our third chakra, which is located in the center of our stomach. It is our solar plexus. It is the sun energy that beams through us. This is the place where our willpower happens, where we get up and we do. And it is where we have our confidence. It is where we have our ego. It is where we have our assertiveness and we take action. And in this place, it is represented by the color yellow, just like the sun. And the word for solar plexus in Sanskrit is Manipura. And the fourth center is located in the center of our chest. It is our heart chakra. And in Sanskrit, the word is Anahata. And the Anahata is represented by the color green. So when I see Anahata, I just imagine an emerald green color beaming through our chest, this gem, this sacred gem that's in the center of our chest that has the ability to give so much life to us. And this energy center is connected to our fifth center, which is in our throat. Our throat chakra is right here in the thyroid, and it is represented by the color blue. In Sanskrit, this word right here is Vishura. I like saying that word. I like saying all of them, honestly. Vishura. And it is this place, again, where if you're, it's in flow with your heart chakra and you speak this love, it's vibrant and beautiful. And then we get into the sixth chakra, which is our sixth sense. It is this place where we see beyond, this intuitive connection. It is represented by the color indigo. And this is also where your imagination is so vivid, your dream world, it's all right here in your pineal gland. It is also connected to your pineal gland. And the Sanskrit word for our third eye is ajna. Then we get to our last chakra, the seventh chakra. And this is our crown chakra. This is our God consciousness, this connection, this antenna to your spirit, to your soul, this higher self of you. It is represented by the color purple. And in Sanskrit, this crown chakra is called Sahasrara. That one I have a little hard time pronouncing, but it's still fun to say, Sahasrara. So ideally, this is how the chakras look within your body. It's energy centers that are all attached to each other that move up and down your spine. And it's how you experience life. You experience life through your emotions, and emotions are energy in motion. So at an early age, when we were kids, we were experiencing things for the first time. Every emotion is just so heavy. Everything just feels so vivid and wow. And so if there happens to have been something that was traumatic, something that was heavy, this energy stays with you. And it gives a signal of that center continuing to make a block from the body. And as an adult in the body that we are in right now, our mind can tell that this is our present, that was our past, and our future, and it can time travel, our mind. But our body, it stays right here. It is right here all the time, all day, every day, So it is only really listening to what the mind has said. Oh, that was scary, or oh, that was great. I love that food. That is my favorite. That every time now, because you have embedded that in your body will already react with its senses to be like, ooh, I like that. Yeah, I already like that. I know what I like, and you are programmed to know this is who I am. This is what I like. This is what I do. And the idea is that sometimes that's great and all that builds so much character, but at the same time, there are again those heavier emotions that are keeping us stuck in a pattern because again, remember the root chakra, it is rooted in learning from our parents. The root chakra is the center of what has picked up most of how to be a human. And so you might be creating something that was habitual from your parents, from your grandparents, from your community, and that became an identity of you. And so, yeah, when life is lifing, it becomes harder to maneuver this. It becomes harder to transmute this because we are technically not having a hard time thinking greater than what we know because we feel this is who we are and that's it. So getting back into the chakras, they not only hold an emotion, but they also hold a characteristic which resembles the yin yang. So we can see the masculine and the feminine within our body and within this flow of yin yang between these centers. So the lower three centers are actually considered our survival mechanism. It is considered the survival traits of us, and from the root to the sacral to the solar plexus, these three are considered to be where most of our energy gets stuck in these three centers. And it is considered the masculine energy because these masculine traits can, they represent the doing, the taking the action, the getting out there. And this is regardless of gender. This is within all of us. And this energy, when it's in balance, can be diminished or overstimulated. So it becomes this imbalance of feeling wobbly. And when it becomes out of balance, it starts to show up as this burnt out feeling. We might be sexually overstimulated or aggressive, impatient. We are ego driven, feeling anxiety, feeling fearful. Once we're feeling that within or even our root, within our sacral, this energy, because it is held within, most of our energy is held in this sacral center, in this life force area, it becomes a domino effect and it affects every other part of our body. And technically, we can't really think of anything greater than what we're feeling here, because now that we have like our ego being our hard drive, we have these fears, we have these blocks, and this masculine energy begins to bleed into the rest of our body. So the fourth chakra, our heart chakra, our anahata, this is where the feminine starts. And so that bleeding of energy, it starts to come now into our heart chakra. We're feeling gossipy, we're feeling overly emotional, we're feeling jealousy. This all lies right here. Or there could even be depression. There could be a lack of just expression coming out of you, and it makes its way up into your throat, where you feel blocked about speaking up about what you truly believe in, or you begin to speak out just negativity, just all the things you totally hate and like want to get rid of. But it's this verbalization of you continuing to talk because this lower energy is stuck. And then it begins to like make its way into the sixth chakra, which is our third eye. And here we're blocking, making it so foggy for us to think of anything greater. We're basically blocking this place of imagination, this place where we get to constantly create something we have not seen. We're stuck in our bodies. We're stuck in this sense of like matter. And by that time, we are unable to get to our seventh chakra, because our seventh chakra really opens when all of us is connected, because this antenna can't reach anywhere. You're on a different frequency. So this is what the flow looks like when you're stuck in the lower three chakra centers within this survival energy. So now let's imagine what it would look like if your chakras were in balance. So in flow, if we start from the root chakra, we would be feeling so stable within ourselves. We would know who we are, not our exterior world of like who we are, who we say we are, who people see us as, who our family is. It is the who I am inside, the stability, the rootedness, this place of feeling so grounded in yourself that if somebody were to tell you you're weird, you wouldn't even take that offensively. You would be like, okay, sure, that's your opinion, but I guess, And then this energy begins to make its way up to your sacral, this place of where your spark lies, this creative reservoir, this energy center. It is vividly full of life, like flowing together. This energy is creating life around you, experiences, and you're in tune with this creative energy. You feel sexually balanced. You feel very confident in this place of just who you are and what you're doing. You're just immersing yourself in that creation of who you are. And this spark of just ideas, this spark of emotions is so healthy that it begins to fuel that flame, that fire of your solar plexus, feeding your sun, and that willpower, that power, that get up and go energy is towards things that you actually want to do, towards your goals that are calling you, towards taking on such beautiful self-expression. And you feel so confident in yourself with integrity, and your ego is balanced. It is a healthy ego, because ego is a part of the adventure as well. Ego is not a bad thing. Like, it allows you to be discerning of like, no, I don't like that. It is part of still who you are. It builds that character, but it is in balance. It's not overdriving this heart center. So now again, this flow is coming into your heart center. You're fourth center, the heart chakra. And in the center, you are so much in this flow of loving life loving you, and your heart is just beaming this emerald green color. And this luminous heart awakens and moves into your fourth chakra, which is your throat chakra. And in your throat chakra, you're speaking of everything you love. You're encouraging other people. You're speaking up about what feels right to you. What is your truth? This whole flow is now opening up, that now it is sparking up this ajna, this third chakra, which is your imagination. Your imagination is like in tune with this. Like it is, you can see clearly of like what you're envisioning next in your life to create. You feel like, great, I experienced this, and now I want to experience more. Like, let me see what else I can do. And this is now connected to your crown of being able to be receptive, to be open to receiving from your God consciousness, from this antenna that's guiding you, this intuition. You're able to know without knowing. And so this is a vibrant flow. This is the flow that we would love to achieve to be at, this balance, this awareness. And in this picture of this balanced flow, we can imagine that our body is a magnetic field. We are attracting the things that we want in our life. We are attracting this actual abundantly flowy feeling, and we're allowing energy to move out of us into us. We're giving and receiving this energy. It's like this up and down flowiness. So we want to feel magnetic. We want to attract the things that we love. We want to attract our partner. We want to attract money. We want to attract experiences and adventure. And so this feeling of a magnetic feeling is part of where the energy lies. And when we are blocking that feeling of flow and it's staying in those 3 lower chakras of survival, then we are feeling more just dense. We're feeling just like metal. You know, metal is not magnetic. It's already a solid thing. And it's the idea of us being able to bring this energy up and out so we can connect and we can flow once more. And even if you feel this way, this doesn't stop here. You still have energy here. Again, the energy starts right here in your prana place where the life force lives. So even if that were to had been, if it's blocked now, it has the ability to rekindle itself, like reboot itself. You're still alive. You are still functioning and you still have energy within you. It is possible for you to attract the desires, the life that you actually truly want to be in, want to live in. Now let's start here where you are in this exact moment. Just really sitting with these observations and scanning yourself. Like, are you feeling heaviness? Are you feeling this dense energy? Are you feeling yourself sort of in a cycle that has been a bit hard to get out of? And let me just say, Soul Babe, that you are exactly where you need to be right here and right now. And if you're listening to this podcast, then that is already a confirmation that you are opening up a gateway to understand and learn how to be more in flow with yourself, to be able to understand your mind, your body, and your soul and how they all work together. You are being called to be able to manifest and create with your own mind, with your own body, to create things you actually want to experience and creating the life you truly deserve to live. I want to emphasize that life is a classroom. Life has its ebbs and flows. Regardless of how aligned you may be, how much work you'll put into your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, your physical health, it takes a practice and it takes time. So you're not going to be imbalanced all the time, every day, every night. Like it's part of the journey. It's part of you to be able to be like, oh, I need to fix this. I need to work on this. And just like exercising, you know, like if you want to get abs, you can't just do it one time and it be done. Like it takes a progress. It takes time. It takes trying something new because your body will get tired of the same routine. So it's understanding this flow of just every part of your life. So In order to create more of what we want in our lives, awareness is key to understanding what you are creating already, because we are creating every day, all day, in this exact moment. Our next thing that we're going to say, the next decision we're going to make, all of it is a part of the creation process. So, for example, if you're trying to attract a lover, trying to have a stable relationship, the first things we're going to look at is the heart and the root chakra. We're going to start with the root. The root of it all comes from who you are, from the I am. And we're going to see this in regards to our relationship with our parents, because they were our first loves. They were our first people that we started to mimic and started to follow, or our guardians. And so within the relationship of our father, how did he show up? How was your relationship with your father growing up? How did you see him in your eyes? And what is the relationship now with your father? And the same goes for your mother. How was your relationship with your mother? How did she go about the world? And how did she perceive and view even just survival skills 101? And then we're going to also be looking at, of course, the heart chakra, which represents this loving aspect, this loving energy. And of course, your father is a human being with a soul and a heart. So he also has this place of where he can express love. And how did he express his love? How did it show up? And the same goes for your mother. How did she express her love? How did it show up? How did they love each other? Did they show that, or were they broken up? Like, being able to really see where these subconscious patterns lie, because this is ideally where it starts. And the same goes for if we're trying to attract money. We're trying to call in more money, trying to get a better job, being able to see from that dynamic of your mother and father on how they viewed money, how they played with that energy of money. How did they create wealth? How did they feel about money? And was there a lack of it, or was there an obsession with it, or was there a balance of it? Did you have a good relationship with money? And did you see that happen within the dynamic of your family? So these are basically where the traits stem from. They stem from these deep-rooted places within. Our conscious mind, our seeing right here, right now, observing this moment, it is actually governed by 5% of our brain. Only 5% of our brain is functioning from this conscious place. The other 95% is working within our subconscious mind. So within our body lies our subconscious mind. And these are embedded things that we already do. These are embedded thoughts and emotions that are within us, that are programmed within us. So say, for example, we're going to eat at some place, or we're going to go to the store and buy something. Ideally, we're going to buy the same product, the same brand. We're going to try to look for that, right? First and foremost, before we try something new. We're going to go to our go-to place of where we've eaten before, and we're going to stay in this cubicle of what we know. And this is ideally where even our subconscious mind, that 95%, holds the same patterns, the same thoughts and behaviors that you actually saw growing up and you kept with you. And as an example of what this 5% conscious and 95% subconscious looks like, the Titanic is perfect for this, because when the Titanic happened, when it sunk, the people that were driving the boat could only really see the tip of the iceberg. They did not know that there was a whole other chunk of ice under the water. And so this idea of the fact that, like, we only really see 5% of our conscious mind, and the 95% of it is really hidden. And it really takes a lot of us to look underneath all of our layers of us to see what also lies, because it is not conscious to the physical eye. Now, if we want to get into this flow of creating, we first need to observe our wants. our wants, these places that we tend to call in. I want this job. I want this car. I want this relationship. I want this money. This is all stemming from a place of us thinking that we cannot have it. Subconsciously, this is what we're thinking. We think that this is not a part of us, that we need to go and get it. And so we feel separate from it. We feel like it's not in our lives. I want it. And this may be coming from a block, an inner limited belief that we can't have it. Because if we believed we could have it, then we wouldn't be wanting it. It would be already attracted to us, because like attracts like. So when we feel separate from it, we're not attracting it because we're not magnetic to it. So it's a matter of being able to observe, what is it that I want? What am I calling in that I want, that I feel I don't have, that I lack of? And being able to see that as like, okay, what is now my block? What is underneath this layer that has told me that I could not have this? How did I see subconsciously, maybe not words, but feelings of like how my parents felt about this? Because like, say you were to bring this up to your parents, this thing that you want, how would they respond? What would they say to this? What would their reaction be to this if you were to put yourself in this predicament, in this conversation, and analyze this internal dialogue that you have with yourself? Once you're able to find what this limited belief is, what this habit, what this pattern is, then you can begin to transmute this energy, because let me just tell you, energy never dies. It just really multiplies and it stays in this position. So we really want to bring this dense energy now into feel a vibration of a higher frequency. The healing process is what it's called. And this healing process is sort of similar to making a mess and cleaning it up. Like, say you were to throw around a bunch of stuff in your room. And when you're throwing all this stuff, you're just kind of like, yeah, not consciously thinking of what you're throwing around. But then when it comes time to cleaning it, now you have to be conscious and aware of what actually goes where it needs to be. So if you have a cup, you're going to go put it in the sink. If you have clothes, they're going to have to go back into the closet. So it's this idea of like consciously being aware of what you're cleaning up and what you need to do and where it needs to go, how you need to put it away. And this is very similar. Of course, though, energetically, a majority of these wounds, a majority of these habits and patterns happen when you were a child. So you weren't really responsible for this, but it is not only going to help you, it is also going to help your family, your ancestors, and your community to be able to do the work of clearing and cleaning up this heavy mess, this pattern, this habitual feeling that keeps everyone feeling so low and aggressive and heavy. So the idea is, when you're digging deep and you're cleaning up shop, see if you can pinpoint where you're feeling this dense, heavy energy. Do you feel it in your stomach? Where do you feel it in your body? Your body has the intelligence of speaking. It throws out signals and signs that gives you this like warning, this heavy feeling, and of course manifests into illness or diseases and becomes a result of that heavy energy taking up space. But of course, if you can identify this energy in any of your chakra centers, then just bring awareness and love to the table. Because ideally, this is the truest form of medicine that will help you take care of something you can't physically put a band-aid on. Of course, it's energy, so this is the place of what your band-aid would look like, would be awareness and love. For a very long time, I disliked books. Growing up, I had a hard time being able to comprehend readings that were given to me, like in elementary school, in high school, and this connection, this feeling with books just always felt so heavy to me. And as an adult, I noticed that I had to rush through something to read, or I got impatient. And I love books. As an adult, I love buying books. I love self-help books. I love learning about the chakras and just indulging in things that I really love. And for a while, they just had been sitting on my shelves, just collecting dust, because even though I wanted to read it, I had a hard time actually picking it up and opening the page and taking my sweet time indulging in it. And then it came to me as I began to notice this block that I had a limited belief embedded in my subconscious mind from when I was in second grade. I had this monster of a teacher tell me that I couldn't read. I remembered how embarrassed I was as this teacher yelled at me, telling me I could not read, how she expressed this to my parents that I can't read and I would never be able to catch up with my classmates. And this really stuck with me. And so throughout my childhood, throughout school, throughout elementary school, throughout high school, I always felt like I had to rush, that I had to hurry up and grab the concept, even though like I have a hard time sinking things in, especially if I don't find interest in it. This led into this other habit of me having to rush through my readings to being able to grab it all and get it through because I needed to pass a class or this or that. And I suffered with this feeling, with this dense, stuck energy. And as an adult, now witnessing this was about like 2 years ago when I finally began to like notice. And I shared this with a friend of like how heavy this felt, and I cried and I let it out. And after I was able to release it, that's when my healing journey began, because now when I pick up a book, I would soothe myself telling me like, it's okay, you can read, you can take your time, like no rush, So I had to be able to take those baby steps in understanding that I can take my time and I can read, and I'm smart and I can grasp the concept. I can learn. It was a moment for me to actually witness what the healing journey and the process felt like and looked like. The healing moments turn into a moment of acceptance, of love, and recovery. So the idea is when you have a memory that is so heavy and dense come to you, bring it in, move it in and move it out. Transmute it with love, with awareness. And it's not easy, of course, because if it is something very heavy and it seems very dense for you, then this takes time, progress, looking at it every time. But in return to being able to be aware of these moments, of these wounds, you are calling back your power. You are calling back your energy. You are transmuting this energy and releasing yourself from the chains of guilt, of shame, and of feeling separate. You're calling yourself back to wholeness. So creating with your chakra centers requires you to understand, what are you creating? What do you want to create? Then noticing, is there something blocking this? Is there something that's lingering within the subconscious mind of yours that is telling you basically that you can't have this? Then you allow the healing process to take its course naturally. You don't have to push it or shove it. It is gradually going to come your way. So when the universe is showing you these wounds, showing you this heavy energy, do your best to sit with this, to go deeper with it, to understand it, to be able to look the fear, the anger, the resentment in the face. That is the idea, that what you're building up to in the healing process is being able to look it in the face and know like, yes, that happened, but I am stronger than this. I call back my power because I want to be in charge of creating my life. I want the things that I literally feel in my heart I can have. This is why I love the holistic healing arts, because there's so many practices you can indulge in that help you consciously heal yourself. There's dancing, grounding, yoga, breath work, Reiki, crystal healing, sound healing, and much, much more. There is also beautiful souls like myself who offer services to help others become in alignment, to be able to move this energy up and out, to attract more of what they want, more of what their heart desires. But the teacher who heals us all is nature, Mama Gaia, who is our greatest healer. Our chakra centers help us navigate and understand ourselves. The energy flow moving up from our root to our crown is the ultimate feeling we achieve to be at. It's the present moment that we are to become aware of. So whether you're attracting or creating a little wave of patience to get you through a chaotic day, or attracting or creating a big wave of a lover or a career to happily make its way into your life, it all starts within your chakra centers, within your own energy. So create awareness of the energy, soul babes, and you will create your dreams. So at this time, soul babes, I would like for you to close your eyes and take a deep breath with me, placing your hands on your heart and on your stomach, breathing in through your nose, exhaling out of your mouth. Again, breathing in through your nose, exhaling out of your mouth. Last time, breathing as much air as you can possibly bring into your lungs. Exhaling out. And repeat after me. My awareness is key to creating the life I desire. I heal myself from past wounds. I am cultivating balance in every moment. Beautiful. Mahalo, soul babes.